What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel. My name is Michael Train, artist and owner of Train Tattoos here in Salina, Kansas. And today I'm going to be doing a breakdown of coil tattoo machines versus rotary machines. The differences between them, what I personally prefer to use, and what led me to use what I am using today. I want to talk about what is a coil machine and what is a rotary machine. What is the big difference between them? Is there a difference? So first, we'll talk about a coil machine. A coil machine. So we have here. This is a coil machine by FK Irons. It's a very light coil machine. This machine, I believe it was the last coil machine I had used. I got this machine mainly for its weight. The machine is, like I said, it is quite light. One thing that really sucks about coil machines is the weight on them, the weight on your wrist, and the weight or the vibrations that come with the coil machine. It can really mess with your wrist, and I was starting to have carpal tunnel type symptoms, and I had to, which is one reason what led me up to trying out rotary machines. So we'll get into that here real soon, but first we'll continue with coil machines. So with a coil machine, these coil machines, I have them all converted over to RCA. Show you guys this up close. So again, this is an FK Irons machine. I believe this was used for a liner machine. It's been a long time. The springs, the thing with coil machines is you've got a spring on here and an armature bar. And the way that a coil machine works is when you plug in right here to this RCA cable, you've got power, and then you've got a foot switch that's an on and off kill switch that when you push that pedal, it automatically sends an electric current which pushes this here armature bar and pulls it towards these coils here, which are technically magnets. And when power goes to it, the coil will draw this armature bar towards it like so, like a magnet, and then the coil will bounce back up onto this here spring, and the spring hits a contact bar, and as soon as it hits that contact bar, it releases and bounces back down and repeats roughly about 130 times per second. And that all depends on how the machine is tuned and set up. This machine, like I said, I believe it was set up to run as a liner, not so much as a shading machine. So therefore the spring is going to be a little shorter on it, and it's going to have a little bit of a harder, shorter hit and throw to it, the stroke per se. So there is the first coil machine I have here. And then next I have a custom built machine. This machine was from Infinite Irons. They make great tattoo machines. I had it custom made with my name engraved at the top there, my last name with the green coils. Great machine. I used it quite a bit in my early days. And then I actually got into building my own tattoo machines. So this one here, Infinite Irons, offers blank frames. And I used to be a welder and fabricator, so this machine is actually a machine that I built, kind of inspired by Aaron Kane a little bit. And the back here is actually Doctor Who. I made my own coils. I have a coil winding machine that if you guys are interested in learning about, I can definitely share some content on that. Just leave that in the comments and let me know if that's something you're interested in learning about, making your own tattoo machines and winding your own coils. It's a process, but it can be fun. And last but not least, we have another machine here it's a machine that this was a blank machine that I custom made as well. So the back of this, the coils these are alien coils that I made from the Alien movies. So anyways, that's a couple machines I made. So I do know a little bit about coil machines. I have some experience building them. So now that we've talked about the coil machines a little bit, I want to go ahead and talk about rotary style machines. There's a lot of different rotary style machines out there. You've got your pen style machines like these here, and then you've got your older style rotary machines. These here, these are Neotats. These were some of the first tattoo machines I ever used, or as far as rotary machines go. Neotat, I'm not sure if they're still really around. I used their product for a little while, like I said. It worked okay. It was a great machine to start out with anyways. And then I moved on to FK irons. And this is the Halo 2. And I used that for a little while. Great little machine. The Spectra Halo 2. And then I also was using the Direct 2 by Spectra as well. Let's see if my camera will zoom in on that. But anyways, there's that machine. These machines all work pretty similar, except for this direct drive. So this direct drive, the way it works is it's got this rotary mechanism built in here, and there's this circular device where your needle bar would connect, and this actually spins in a circle and it's offset, so the needle pushes up and down as it spins. There's no give in these machines. They're, like I said, it's a direct hit. There's no forgiveness. Like a coil machine, you'll have a little bit of a forgiveness in it because you do have the spring tension, and so that spring will resist depending on the skin and skin type, the area of the body, and so you'll have to adjust your spring and tension and everything else when you're using a coil machine. Rotary machines, they just kind of hit, like there's no forgiveness. It's up and down, up and down, up and down. So that's pretty much how these work. Same thing, a little bit different on like the Halo. Get it to focus. The Halo 2s. I'm gonna grab one of these Neotats. It'll probably be a little easier to see. So this Neotat works the same. You've got here a shaft. The needle bar would sit on here and run through, and the needle would go up and down, up and down, up and down. And then you have the different strokes. So this one here is a 3.5 millimeter stroke, and the difference in those strokes is how much that needle goes up and down. And so with a smaller stroke, that needle's only going to go and move up and down a little bit. With a larger stroke, that needle's going to go up and down a lot more. So therefore, a longer stroke is going to give you a harder hitting machine because of the momentum of it going up and down further. So when you're doing color packing or some thick line work, a higher stroke is going to be the better option. If you're doing some light black and gray work, a lower stroke like a 2.5 would be ideal. So these are, like I said, some of the first rotary machines I used, all great machines. And then I moved on to some pen style machines. So I have here, these are made by Stigma. It's the Stigma Thorns. I have two of them. I believe one's a 3.5 millimeter stroke and the other is a 4 millimeter stroke. These were the first pen style machines I used. They are great machines. As you can see, they're little bitty. They're very lightweight, very compact, and they work great. They're awesome machines. You can adjust your needle depth by turning this here, and that's kind of how that works. So with pen style machines, you're using a cartridge system. Cartridge system, there's no needle bar, so you just put a cartridge in and you're good to go. And that's kind of how those work. And inside the mechanism is still a rotary machine, a rotary power supply, if you will. And that rotary power supply, it's pushing a little pen inside of these back and forth, up and down, and that pushes that needle bar inside of that needle cartridge up and down. And the needle depth, like I said, is controlled by just adjusting, and this is how most of them work, by turning it left or right, up and down. And then, last but not least, we have what I'm using today. This is the EXO FK irons. EXO. This is what I've been using for the last couple years. This is what I've landed on. This is a battery powered machine. I purchased this with the two 10-hour battery packs, and I've been using it for my daily driver ever since I got this machine. I've had no desire to switch machines. This machine does everything I want it to do, and I couldn't ask for something better. This is the 4 millimeter stroke, and the 4 millimeter stroke, I'm able to do all my soft black and gray portraits and all my work. With the 4 millimeter stroke, I can do colored portraits, full color, everything basically that gets thrown at my way with this 4 millimeter stroke. I haven't had to feel the need to try out any other different strokes. So again, this is the EXO by FK Irons. It is a wonderful machine, and I'll go ahead and kind of show you how this works. So just like those Stigma Thorns, you can turn the grip here left or right to adjust your needle depth, and then the battery pack pops off like so. Here is the battery pack, and here's what the inside looks like here, and that just pops right back on. And you could also take this grip off and clean it if you need to. FK Irons kind of suggests there's not really any maintenance you need to do to these machines. I've never really had to do any kind of maintenance other than I do periodically. We'll put a little bit of oil on this here O-ring. If you can see that. There's an O-ring here, and it will get dry, and if you want to keep these O-rings lasting a real long time, I would just put a little bit of lithium grease or some kind of oil lubricant on that every so often, just to keep it from drying and cracking and that O-ring from snapping on you. So that is it, guys. That is all my machines I've used over the years, and again, this is what I've landed on. This is a great machine. I've tested it pretty thoroughly at this point. I have had to replace one battery pack on me that went out just recently, but that was after almost 2 years of usage, and I've put hundreds of battery life on that, so I'm sure it was definitely its time. So if you guys get any kind of questions or anything at all, just leave them in the comments and I will definitely get back to you. So there we have it, guys. This is my selection of Tatttoo machines, Coil Machines versus Rotary Machines, and kind of what led me to ultimately switching. Like I said, I was having wrist issues early on, and the weight and vibration of a coil machine, it was uncomfortable, and I wanted to try something new and different. And so that's when I started using the Rotary Machines, and that has led me up to what I'm using now, which is this pen style machine by FK Irons, the EXO. And like I said, I love this machine. So if you guys got any kind of questions on any of these machines or anything I said today, please leave them in the comments and I will definitely get back with you. If you like this video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you in the next video.